band. Pull up like parades on parades, extra with the slayer. Pay what it call for the tail, extra with the band. Young Crizzle King better add extra on the. I go extra to be great. I go extra for the fam, I go extra for the cake. I got extras on the plate. I go extra every day, I got extras on the way. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra. How much? Extra, extra.
I just scraped it off the top, got it on the road, on the dirt, on the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. When that hush comes, the what I gotta do, I'm moving with a two, I paid it out the fuck. Yeah, tell me what I gotta do. Pull up in a bucket crew, one for me and one for you. Yeah, like with the roof. I'm off the chain, don't cut me loose. Yeah, I'm off the chain, I'm off the noose. Yeah, getting picked off Bentley white like cotton. Residential so good, my doors don't got a lock. Watch the dirty money, what I miscount cause I'm off a. Yeah, these bigger than a damn proxy. Call my he said copy. Get that plug like a boogie. I like riches, hit like nookies. You ain't scared of no, but you scared to put on your hoodie. Man, my like Woody. I just scraped it off the top, got it on the road, on the curve, on the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. When that hush comes, the what I gotta do, I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of full.
Toys, convoys, 100 carats on my neck, my boy. That 100 bunny rabbits tryna get my boy. From the cabbage I collect, my boy. Heard you is gorillas, let me check, my boy. Say nothing silly, you regret, my boy. Cause we got banana on the my boy. And I can send it in a text, my boy. Thumbs up or the emoji with the flex, my boy. Personalize every threat, my boy. Toll free. That's direct, my boy. And if you need a couple, I'm to connect, my boy, off the top.
I just scraped it off the top, got it on the road, on the curve, on the block. I was already sold out of work by 10 o'clock. Too deep in the streets, felt that pain, but it meant a lot. When that hush comes, the what I gotta do, I'm moving with a two, I paid it out of full.
I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, For the blank and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking nothing from my who ain't heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching her, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big, and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a know he missed the know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, Top dog like I manage. I'm the really damaged. I came out and make the channel froze.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25.
Let's go. Striker, 3-3. Black watch.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. On the ground with a tight end. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. On 4th down, Love. And he's got Hurst as tight end. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Love now. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Bucs and Saints expected to possibly be the two to slug it out for the NFC South title in 2022. The Saints have had the Bucs number pretty much since the arrival of Tom Brady, at least in the regular season. They're 4-0 against Tampa Bay the last 2 seasons in the regular season. But remember, when Tampa won the Super Bowl, they did defeat New Orleans en route to that title. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Love. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 24-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out the backfield to the right. And after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Love looking to throw it. Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Devin Duvernay, his first touchdown here in the new campaign. And the Saints are on the board first here this afternoon. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown here to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Dancing to his left. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Lance. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Well, here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On second down, Love once more. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. A right side run with Patterson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Through one quarter, 9-7 our score. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Lance. Throw left side complete. That's Jackson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll run with Patterson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains.
Okay, right.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield who can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 2nd and 15 now. Lance. This is caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 28 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game.
16, Saints 7.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
He's brought down at the 15-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
Black Ultra. Here, black.
3rd and long for Love. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Here we go.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On first down, going back to Patterson. Max Crosby, the one who got in there for the stop. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
The Saints 49-yard line.
On the double.
On 2nd and 9, Lance. He gets it complete to Jackson. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 45 yards. He had 1 touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. The handoff to Ford up the middle, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jerome Ford with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are able to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Love. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18. Going back to Love. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
To throw now. Here's Love. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Graham Gano on for a field goal. A 50-yard attempt.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up alive. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Buccaneers take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23.
Saints 7.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Return. The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. Room here to run. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Ready. You yellow. Edo blue. Cluster 6.
Lance now on first down. That's Cordero Patterson hauling it in. Finding room at midfield. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
First and 10, it's Patterson. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first to pick up of 12 yards. And Lance now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jackson. It's a first down, his fourth catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Saints are going to get it back here just past the 35. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. Here's Love. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an intercept.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Buccaneers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Justin Tucker is set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Saints take over first and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On play action. Love to throw. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to...
Touchdown! Trey McBride, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bucs take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Saints 7.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Yellow, go. 6, 7.
Here's Lance. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. When those extra defenders on the field, dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot.
Ready.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play.
Here we go.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey,
To pass, here's Jordan Love. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit, give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that that call now might get the fans back into this one.
First down, going to the air with Love. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Brought down back at the 31-yard line.
97.
Again, it's Love. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. The Saints on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Striker, 3-3.
Throwing. Love. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Okay, right.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. Oh, they're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
Lance looking to throw it. Right side, Thornton with it. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
On the return from his end zone is Grant. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled it to 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Love now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you'll not.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook, not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Love now to pass on first down. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Love looking to throw it. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10, Love. This complete to Lockett. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 33. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Block it in motion right. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Love. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want...
And now here is another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. Gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The Lance going to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
In this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for Tampa Bay, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away.